welcome to my channel. Today I will be continuing with the academic series. I hope you guys love it. Give it a thumbs up, like, share, and I hope you enjoy the content. So on today's video I am going to be talking about being a postgrad student. So like I said on the previous video that I asked you guys what you would like to know about academics, stuff like that, and there are different suggestions. Last week I covered how to stay motivated, how to stay grounded, things you can do to like get energy, study, how to pass your exams and stuff like that. And today we're going to focus on being a postgrad student. So I also asked another question like a day or so, I think it was yesterday, I don't know, asking like what you guys would like me to cover in terms of postgrad, and I got like a lot of questions, a lot of requests, and because of that I think I'll have to break it down because postgrad life is quite broad. So I'm going to break it down into different series. Hopefully next week I cover something else. So on today's episode I think I'll just cover what being a postgrad student is, what is postgrad, what is being a postgrad student, how life is like as a postgrad student, and then next week I can then cover the more in-depth part of academics, which is like someone asked me how to do a lit review, someone asked how to do systematic reviews, maybe just get into it, how the differences, how people can read different articles, I bring it together, stuff like that. So let's get into it. So life of a postgrad. Life of a postgrad is a lot. There's a lot. I'll talk about the pros and the cons and stuff like that. So I started postgrad in 2015. That's when I did my honors. Still at the same university, so I didn't have to change. So still at Wits, did my honors in microbiology, and it was a really big change. It was a big shift because in undergrad, you know, you're going to classes every single day, morning, afternoon, you have lab work, you have, you know, practice in the afternoon to prepare for and actually do and attend. Still have to study, you have exams. And so how my honors was structured was that in the beginning of the year you have different courses that you take, and then there will also be a research component, and the research component is for the second semester. And then what else do you have to do? You have to do a lab techniques course. So that one is like compulsory for everyone who's going to be doing like molecular biology, who's doing molecular biology. It was different. I felt like I was thrown in the deep end because like in undergrad, when you have to go to the pracs, when you have to do lab work, you have the lab manual, you have your protocol outlined, you have your teaching assistants there with you, assisting you in everything that you're going to be doing. And then for honors, it's just like, here's your research question, come up with like methodology. You have to know what's needed in the lab. It was just a huge shift. For me, it was a huge shift, and we never did like full reports in undergrad. It was always like a scientific report based on the lab that you're doing. So the methodology section is all obviously there for you guys. You just have to add a few things for literature and then results and discussion, and that will be like max 5, 6, 7 pages. And now you have to do a proposal, and that proposal is like 10 pages, and you just freaking out. I promise you, for me it was a lot. The shift was a lot, like I said previously. So if you want to undertake postgrad studies, you have to be ready to be thrown in the deep end and learn how to swim. You know, it was hectic, but I did get over it eventually. I got used to the rhythm of things, blah 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 blah. And then the other thing that shook me was the take-home exams. So in undergrad I never had a take-home exam, and when people talked about take-home exams, I was like so excited for them. I'd also want to do a take-home exams. A take-home exam, because it means that I don't have to study, and even if I study, I can always like open my work on the side and write all of this and blah 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 blah. Did I not get the shock of my life? Our take-home exams were like, you have to write a good 3-4 essays in the space of 48 hours with like a full reference list, with research questions that you've never seen before. You know when you type on Google like this is the research question and then nothing comes up. I spent 24 hours. I spent 48 hours. That 48 hours in the computer lab. Just go home, pee, bath, just brush your teeth, and like shortcut, eat, carry lunch. I remember there's a day where I carried like lunch and supper, and then I'm like, if I get hungry at night, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. But that day we slept at the lab, like my friends and I, we were working. Yes, we had to work. And then at like 8 o'clock, because then the take-home exam will be due like around 10 or 9 following day, after 2 days. When you want to print, the printers are stuck. Everything just goes wrong. Like take-home exams are the ghetto. I don't want people to go through that. It's torture, but I guess it's part of life and you have to get used to it. And then doing lab work full time. That was hectic. That was really, really hectic. Like I can just come in the morning, do lab work, eat, continue until whatever time I finish. And I was not used to it because most of my undergrad has just been like studying. You only have 3 hours of lab time twice or 3 times a week. I think 3 times a week, and like that's the most that you're gonna do. And then sometimes it's not even wet labs, it's dry labs. So whatever you're gonna be doing, you'll be doing it in a computer lab, doing like bioinformatics stuff. So it was quite it was a hectic change. Now you have to know where to order chemicals. You have to like set out a protocol for yourself. You have these meetings with your supervisor, and I mean, in undergrad you don't just sit with supervisors and have tea with them and explain your life and stuff like that. So I was quite intimidated when I met my supervisor, and then the other masters and PhD students. Like, you're gonna sit in a meeting and you're gonna talk about this. It was so formal. It was so scary. Like every like I need to know my shit, I need to know stuff. I need to know what's happening in my project. I need to have something that I've done so that I update them the following week. And everyone is looking at me because I'm the baby of the group. I'm the baby of the group. I am the girl of the group. It's just like, it was a lot. But luckily I had a really good supervisor, and the PhD students, like shout out Uma, Sianda, and Emmanuel. They really helped me like cruise through it. It was really lovely, and Uma was always there. Uma and I were, it's like, Uma, I'm stuck, I need to do 1, 2, 3. And then if Uma's not around, then it's Sianda, like, Sianda, I don't know what to do, it was just a mess. But I got through it and I actually got good grades, and that's what inspired me to do my master's. The results that I got for my honors were like, this is interesting, this is like baseline stuff. Imagine if I go into an MSc and start unlocking my brain and finding out new things. So that is how I got into my master's. So I talked about the changes from undergrad to honors, from honors to masters. But basics of a postgrad life: time management. No one is running after you, no one is chasing you. Some of you have supervisors that are always at your back. Some of us have supervisors that are not gonna run after you. You have to be the one who runs after them. So you control your project. You need to know stuff. And knowing stuff, like, no one is born like intelligent. Well, there are people that are intelligent, but information just It doesn't come out of nowhere. You have to read. You have to read your articles. You have to read your reviews. Engage with people around you who are in the same field. That's how you learn. There's a time where, I think in masters, when I was just studying my project, where I would study like someone who's going to write an exam, like components of my research, so that I understood the methods, I understood what my project entails, stuff like that. So you always have to read, even if it's like blogs, but something, just read, just take it in, read academic stuff, engage with your supervisor. You don't even have to be afraid of your supervisor, engage with them. And then another thing is not letting studies define you, I guess, like having a life outside of academics, because a lot of people, it's just like, I'm an academic, I'm doing postgrad, so I need to do research. And then those who do lab work says, oh my word, after 5 I still need to go back to the lab and do 1, 2, 3. Others are like, oh my word, I need to do 1, 1, 1, 1. And then you just don't have a life outside, which is what I did for like most of my undergrad and postgrad life. And now I'm realizing, like, damn, I missed out on a lot of things, and I could have just given myself a structure. Like 8 to 5 is me and my work, and then after 5 I'm catching up on series and making friends, going out during weekends, like no school, no anything, just to have that balanced life, because you can't just do one thing forever. It gets frustrating, and it really does get frustrating. So have a life outside of academics, guys. Have a life outside of being a postgrad. See, that's why I started my YouTube channel, so that I can do something outside of academics. Started my YouTube channel. I am always on point with series, because I know in the evening, so like after 5, when I'm done with lab work or done studying and whatnot, I always make sure that I catch up with my new series. And Gomorrah, guys, I'm obsessed with Gomorrah, but like season 3 sucks. I just love Zora, so I'm not gonna quit watching it, because there's Zora, and I love Zora, and I love Teddy, and I love Wongani, so I have to continue watching them. Ooh, and watch First Kill. I know I said it last week, but guys, you need to watch it. Anyway, I've talked about 3 things, and then number 4, research, stalk, dig everything, all the information that you need about the university, supervisor, and department that you want to go to. Listen, the person that you choose to be your supervisor, your advisor, co-supervisor, the university that you choose, the department that you're in, the people that are around you matter more than your own work. And I don't know how else to explain it. Like, if you're in a toxic environment, you are going to end up hating your work. You find people that will sabotage you. You find supervisors that don't care about you, that are not present. You find universities that are not supportive of postgrad students. You find that you have your supervisors and your advisors actually not mentoring you. They're not helping you grow in your academic journey. For them, it's just about, I need you as a postgrad. I'm gonna benefit from you because my NRF ratings go up, and then after that you go away. They're not gonna teach you how to apply for grants. They're not gonna mentor you. They're not going to expose you to conferences, to traveling abroad, or just around the university. So it's quite important. Like, I don't know how else to emphasize it. I think I need another episode where I just talk about this specific topic, because I am really passionate about this. It hurts my soul when I talk to people who have similar experiences as me. Actually, like, a lot of postgrad people have the same experience. It's either they're complaining about their colleagues, co-workers, complaining about people in their department or their school or their faculty, complaining about the university, and then the supervisors. it's a lot. That one I'm not gonna go into detail now. I think it needs a whole session of itself, you know. It just, okay, let me not sit like that. So yeah, just please do research, please. I don't even know, stalk people, ask people who've been there, you know, stalk them on social, I don't know, just find out where you're going before you go there and before you make a commitment. And if you go in 2 months, 3 months in and you see this place is toxic, run. You can withdraw quickly. If you still have your funding, then you can apply to, you still have your funding, you just have to like change supervisors and whatnot. Don't wait for it to be too late. Don't be like, nah, it's just my first year, you know, it's gonna be fine, postgrad life is gonna be better. It's not, it just gets worse. Leave, run, find a new space. And I'd also like to encourage you guys to do studies abroad. There's a lot of bursaries taking people abroad. There's no need to be studying in SA, guys. Like, explore. Here we have load shedding, we have kids getting stolen, women being raped, people, queer community, guys always under scrutiny. Life here is just, it's just going down the drain. So I'd advise you to actually just find a place that you want to go to and abroad. And it doesn't even have to be like the big universities like Harvard and whatnot. It can be universities that people don't know, that are actually really good establishments that you can go to. It doesn't even have to be outside of Africa. It can even be in Africa, because I have a lot of friends, not a lot, a few friends that I've made that have studied like in universities abroad, and the cultural experiences that they get, connections, networking that they get is quite amazing. So please do check that out. And what else? I think those are the basics of postgrad life. Balancing your lifestyle, funding. Funding, guys. I will do a whole like 20-minute or more video just talking about funding, the different funding that you can have for postgrad, like the different faculties, different schools. I'll even have like that one will be like more in-depth, more in-depth, where I'll even have links that I can add for people to do funding. It's the one thing that will make or break you when it comes to doing postgrad. Funding, whether it's funding for your research that the department or your supervisor has, or personal funding for you to study, for you to pay rent and have a life. If you don't have funding, I don't see the need to do studies when you don't have funding. I'm sorry. I tried it in my first year of my PhD, and it was I think it was my worst. My first year PhD, it was the worst studying year I've ever had as a postgrad. I regretted it. I hated myself. I hated everyone around me. And I realized that it was because I didn't have money. I was miserable because I didn't have money. Life is way difficult as a postgrad student when you're trying to manage everything else and then finances are just not coming along. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So please look for funding. So the next video, I am going to talk about funding. I think a lot of people are asking about funding. So I'll talk about funding, how to secure funding, things you can do to improve your CV so that you get funding, things you can do for motivation and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys love it, and you enjoy the video and you enjoy the content. Please subscribe. I want to be an influencer, so I need to make money out of this thing. I want to quit academics, y'all. Anyway, bye guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, man, till next time. And how cute is my hair? I'm a bit crazy, but it's fine.